Hey friends, welcome back to LlamaMamaKayla's Yarn Tube. I thank you for stopping by for a visit today, and I wanted to tell you that I'm feeling much better today. Yesterday I had taken some medicine for the trigeminal nerve pain that I was having. It flares up on me sometimes, and thankfully I do get a break from it. It's not a constant thing. When it flares up, it's constant right then, but then it'll after a couple of days, it'll usually subside and the pain will go away, thankfully, because I could not live with that pain constantly. So I am lucky in that because I think some people it doesn't go away like that. But anyway, the pain medicine makes me nauseated, and I took some Zofran with the pain medicine, but I guess I didn't take enough. I don't know. But I was so nauseated and I was fighting it so bad. And as soon as I got finished recording, I went into the kitchen, and before I knew it, I was just throwing up. And so um, I got to the garbage can finally, but not before getting it on the floor. But thankfully, the floor is easy to mop, you know. But anyway, so I'm not feeling nauseated today. I am just feeling like the little leftover sleepiness and grogginess of it. So, yeah, all medicines have side effects, unfortunately, and that is the horrible thing about it. You take this medicine to correct this, and then it makes you sick or sleepy or whatever. But anyway, thankfully, I'm not nauseated today. That is a horrible, horrible feeling. Now, I throw up on a daily basis, just to be blunt and honest with you. I throw up several times a day sometimes because of my esophagus issues. But I'm not nauseated with that. It just comes up. Um, but that just feeling nauseated and knowing you're going to throw up, and just that is a horrible feeling. I can't deal with that feeling. So anyway, so today I have a video for you guys. We are going to compare yarn weights. Yes, yarn weights. So I got my book out that Nancy had sent me, and it's Amigurumi Parents and Baby Animals. I did say the name of this wrong the other day. I didn't have the book in my hand. I was talking, might have been the day I showed the squirrel, I don't know, but I referred to this book and I called it something different. I think I called it Animals at Play, but that's not the name of it. It's Amigurumi Parents and Baby Animals, and this can be found on Amazon. I did not purchase the book. Nancy sent it to me. Thank you, Nancy. And so I don't have a link for it, but you can search it on there, or anywhere that you buy books, you can search that. It's a very nice book. So I looked through it and I immediately wanted to make this Mama Octopus and her babies. I just thought that was so cool. And I have a jellyfish that you can only see the tentacles right here. But I have a large jellyfish up there that I made. And so I thought, well, I'll make an octopus. And I made one. So here is my octopus. Right here. Oh, she turned out so pretty. I love her. I just love her. I did use Red Heart Super Saver Retro Stripes on her, and this is 236 yards, and it did make her. I used a gray, just a big scrap ball of gray that I had for the bottom and the bottom of the tentacles. So yeah, she turned out really cool. I did put wire in her arms, and so they're a little bit posable. I mean, they are posable. They have wire in there. I bought the wire at Dollar Tree. It's floral wire, and it's not the green floral wire that's really skinny. It was a thicker colored. It's colored for wiring. It's a real thick rod, but it's very plattable and just easy to mold. But anyway, I bought a pink one, and then I used all that pink one, and then we had to use one strip of the green wire. So Yeah, it uses a whole package plus another cut from another one. You don't have to put those, but without those, her limbs were just really straight, and they wouldn't curl or anything at all, and they were just like straight out. And I didn't like that look, so I went ahead and put the wire in. And I put the wire in after I made her. Um, the book talks about putting the wire in before you close all this up, but I knew that I could just run that wire in later if I wanted to put it in. And then after I made her, I definitely wanted to put it in. So I used a G hook on her, and I didn't put a mouth on her because I know octopus don't have mouths like that. Octopus eat from the bottom, I'm pretty sure. I learned that in my homeschool days, homeschooling my children. And so I didn't put a mouth on her because she's not supposed to have one. But the book does have one, and she's cute with mouth, but I just didn't want to put one. So she has her 8 tentacles there, and they can be, you know, curled different ways or whatever, or tighter or looser or however. So I mentioned that this skein had 236 yards. Well, after I made this, I wanted to use up the rest of that skein. So I decided to make some of her little babies. You can see here in the book some of her little babies. So I wanted to make some of her little babies and use up the rest of that yarn. And I used all of it but this right here, guys, okay? So I made this little guy right here who's green, and his tentacles are a little bit different shade of green, but he goes from a darker green and it lightens up there, you know. So I made him, and then I made another little greenish blue one who turned out cute. And then let's see, I made this little pink one that turns to coral at the very bottom, and then the yellow tentacles. And then this one starts with coral, and then it's pink, and then the tentacles are pink. And then this one is yellow with tentacles with a coral and orangish body that turns to yellow. Okay, so when I got to the tentacle part, this is all the yarn I had left. It was not enough to do these tentacles, so I had a yellow laying on my desk already, and so I just used that yellow and made these tentacles. And then this part, I'm just going to throw it away. It's not really a big enough scrap ball to use for anything, so I'm just going to throw that little piece away. So this is my little stack of babies. Let me see if I can get them all up here. Nope, I can't hold them all in my hands. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, in one picture of the book, it does show putting the babies on her, like laying her out and putting the babies on her, you know, little curved tentacles there, and that is cute. I don't know how I'm going to display her yet, but I will figure out a way. Okay, so I used absolutely almost every little bit of that retro stripe, and that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have any left over, so the little bitty tiny piece that I do have left over, I'm just going to throw that away because it's not big enough for anything. So I'm going to have her and 5 babies. I don't know why my dog Phoebe is over there just whined all of a sudden. So I have her and her 5 babies. Okay, so I'm very proud of her. I think she turned out really pretty. I might make another one. Okay, so I was making her, and I got up to the point where I needed to do the tentacles, and it was kind of late at night, and I kind of wasn't reading it and understanding, so I didn't want to go any further without totally, a clear mind knowing what I was doing. So I thought, well, I'll just wait till in the morning to do that. Well, I picked up a hook and started crocheting another one. So I pulled out this Echo tie-dye yarn that I had picked up at Michael's, and this is a jumbo number 7 yarn, but it only has 82 yards. So they sell that yarn for $9.99, which I would never pay $9.99 for 82 yards. I'm way too frugal for that. But I picked this up for $2 a skein. So I would pay $2 for that, but not $9.99. So I had picked up 3 of those, and this is what I started. Okay, so I made this big old huge octopus. Oh my gosh, it is huge. It is like humongous. Okay, like I said, I picked up 3 of them, and when I got down somewhere, I don't know, down here, I realized I needed another one. So I had Elijah to stop by on his way home from work one day and pick me up a 4th skein of it. So it did take 4 skeins to get me through this, of just that color. And that colorway is called Out of Sight Shades. Okay, so on this one, I did use a 9mm hook and some big old safety eyes. I didn't put cheeks on this one. Elijah advised me not to. And so I did all the tentacles and everything, with that. This one, I didn't put wire in because these curl up pretty easily. And they hold the curl pretty good. So I didn't put wire in them. So I went ahead and did the tentacles on this one before I went back and did the tentacles on the other one. So this was a fun make, and when I got to row 36, it was 448 stitches all the way around, and I was like, oh. And then I got to row 37, and it was 840 stitches for that round. I was like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get this done? But surprisingly, 840 stitches went by pretty quickly. And then on row 38, guess what? It was another 840 stitches. Oh goodness. But surprisingly, it doesn't take as long as you might think to do 840 stitches. So, and it doesn't matter the size, whether it's this size or this size, is still 840 stitches all the way around. But anyway, this one is just a little bit harder because the yarn is so much bigger, and it's a little bit harder on your hands. So anyway, this is my octopus. And then after I got all of the colorful stitches yarn done, then I needed to do a white, and so I didn't know that I had a white, and so I just started looking through my old stash and pulling some yarn out, and I found this this white red here. It's Premier Yarns Deborah Norval collection. Trying to see how many yards. It's a size 6, and it's 84 yards. You can tell that's an old wrapping there on that. I picked this up at Dollar Tree probably 4 years ago. Yeah, probably 4 years ago. And so I had this in a drawer, and I had several of these, thankfully, because I used a whole one, and then I used a good bit of this one. It's not a full skein. I used a good bit. It's super thin, holding it like that. So yeah, it is. trying to see if there's any information that I could say. It's just 84 yards. Number 6, bulky. It says super bulky. Anyway, yeah, I paid $1 for that at Dollar Tree many years ago, back when they had that scarfy, I can't think of what to call it. They had some that people made scarves with or something, not like warm scarves, but decorative scarves. And so I had picked this up at that time. So anyway, that's what I used. The Eco Tie-Dye, and then the Premier Deborah Norval. Is that how you say it? Okay. Like I said, this one had 82 yards, and this one says it has 84 yards. So they were about the same size. But anyway, yeah, I'm very happy with that. I love how this turned out, and I love how it is holding shape for the curling of the tentacles there. I mean, it looks awesome. I want to take this to the river one day whenever I can. Take this to the river and set it up on something and take some pictures with the water in the background, and probably my little one too. So here is a 4-weight yarn versus a 7 bulky yarn. And let me just tell you this, after I worked on this, and actually I got those tentacles done, I hadn't started the white yet, but I went ahead and went back and was working on this. After working with this bulky yarn and then going to this number 4 yarn, it felt like I was crocheting with thread. Because this was like crocheting with a rope, and then going back to this, it just felt like thread, you know. It was so tiny. But anyway, bulky 7, regular worsted weight 4. Same pattern, a G hook for this one, a 9mm hook for this one, and a G hook is a 4mm. So a 4mm hook for this one, and a 9mm hook for that one. So there we go. So you can use the same patterns, just use a bigger yarn, bigger hook, or whatever, you know. I know a lot of times I see reviews on Amazon. I look at pattern books and I read the reviews and stuff on them, and some people will give books a bad review because the book used small hooks. And I'm just like, what? You gave the book a bad review because the book uses a 2.5 hook. Just use a bigger hook. Good grief. If you can't use that hook, just use a bigger hook. So anyway, same pattern, just different size yarns and different size hooks. But I think they both turned out really cute. I like this one worked up in the retro stripes, because I think that's just interesting and really cute looking. And I thought about making another one and starting with pink at the top, making sure, you know, I start with pink and working down. And I could make 5 more babies with that to use up the whole skein. But anyway, and then this one, you know, it just worked up whatever color, wherever the color pulled, you know. I didn't do anything special at all for that. I just worked. And this was a little hard on my hands because it was such a bulky yarn, and, you know, the size hook just made it a little bit harder. But I'm very pleased with both of them, and I would not mind making either one of these octopus in either size yarn again. Matter of fact, I went ahead and got Elijah to get me some more of this yarn, since they were marked down to, you know, clearance to $2. I went ahead and got him to get me some more to make more octopus, and I got 4 skeins so that I'd be able to complete it. Now, I don't know that I don't think I have the white to do that, so I would have to either look through my stash and see what bulky yarn I have to do it, the underbelly, and I don't know if that's what you call it, that's what I'm calling it, the underbelly, and the, doing the edge of the tentacles and closing them up. So anyway, I might be making more octopus in the future. So there we go. There we go. Have you made amigurumis, the same pattern, different size what yarns and different size hooks, and what did you like about doing that or not like about it? Tell me about that in the comments. Whether you liked using the bigger yarn or the smaller yarn, or how it worked out for you. I don't have a favorite of that, other than I said after using this rope that felt like thread, but I didn't have a favorite of doing it. I like them both equally. I think this one just turned out very pretty, and I'm very, very pleased with that. Very happy with the wire in using the wire in these tentacles to give them some curl. And in this one, I'm very pleased with how it just curls on its own and not having to use wire. So yeah, tell me your thoughts on that down below, and I will see you all again as soon as I can. Bye, friends.